Hi, welcome to the Repeater episode 31. This is live from my home studio, and I am picking up where I left off, which was quite a few days ago, and I realised that I need to get back into it. I need to get into this. I need to get into this YouTube game and get into the regular uploads and have a consistency. Wait a second.
Eddie? Oh, sorry.
What is it, ma'am?
It's alright. Yeah, I didn't realise you were
What?
doing his,
Yeah, so, anyway, so things are quite okay. Yeah, I want to get the podcasting up and running and make the most of my life, really, the opportunities I have, and trying to get in the centre of the screen. Sorry for listeners. Yeah, so there's lots of things to consider, and I hope that we can consider them in due course. So I did get into this habit of doing 2 podcasts a day, and I got a little bit tired because I didn't feel like I had enough to talk about between the podcasts. I felt like I was just doing a podcast, getting other stuff done, doing another podcast, and I didn't really have time for anything else, which is quite a bad thing because you don't necessarily then have anything to talk about. Not that this hiatus I've been on, like One Direction, this extended break from my career on the Peter Repeater, I haven't benefited from it in the way that I've now got lots of stuff to talk about. So maybe I do just force myself to get in front of the camera and talk when I can, because that is probably the solution to this live stream scenario, is to do it regularly and put the reps in and try and be entertaining and stuff like that. So it can be a bit difficult. Yeah. But it's like anything really, it's practice. You get into routine and then you figure stuff out. But then I don't know if I like a podcast of someone just sitting by themselves talking. No, I don't know. But it's what I'm going for. Don't have any other options. And then I realised I've been watching Chris D'Elia, who is very funny, with his roast with, heckling and roasting Brian Callen. Very funny. I watched a couple of their podcasts together with Brendan Schaub as well, and those two together, just hilarious. And so Chris D'Elia has a podcast, but he's just sitting in front of the camera talking, and that's what's happening. But then he goes into these stories about his life, and he gets into funny stuff. But you do see him, sort of not always have stuff to say. And I'll be honest with you, with other podcasts, when there's 2 people, there's always stuff to say. There isn't a lull in the situation. So just like that, a little bit of a lull in the conversation, and you don't get that with 2 people. So that's why I want to have guests on my Peter Repeater. It'll be the Peter Repeater with Theo Von, Peter Repeater with Brendan Schaub. Just all my favourite comics on and podcasting. people on YouTube. Some people, there's so many comedians on YouTube, and I watch them for their podcasts. That's my main thing that I'm thinking about. I'm just watching them for their podcasts, and they're funny on their podcasts, and they're interesting. I'm fairly happy with the setup, really. The podcasting world it's a fun place to be in. And I thought today, instead of watching a podcast, I would make a podcast. So here I am, doing just that. So, my life. Am I satisfied with my life? You know. Yeah, I'm happy where I am, and I'm happy that I got here in one piece. But I feel like I'm just getting to the stage where I can start to enjoy life and have things I like doing and really make the most out of it, because I haven't always been healthy. So now that I'm healthy, I feel like I can finally settle down and enjoy stuff. I hope. I really hope. And yeah, I'd say I've been doing that, enjoying myself. I would like to talk to people more. Here I am, podcast alone. Yeah, I'd like to talk to people more. That'd be cool. I could set up the my podcast to have people talking with me. That is a possibility. Like, I could invite my sister on the podcast, or my brother, and we could talk about interesting things. But you know what? I don't think I want to do that. I'll just, at least if I'm talking about stuff, there's no worries, and I can say what I like, and I have that freedom to say what I like, and I can go and rant and everything. But other than that, I just think, having guests on the podcast. I don't know if I want to do a Skype. It's better than nothing, right? Better than being alone. I could have a little pop-up window in the corner of the screen, and I can relate to that and make the most out of it, and have a little pop-up and just think, yeah, that's me. And then there's someone else I'm talking to, and we're having a conversation, and we could talk about stuff. I should do that. I might do it. Go for it. You only live once, really. I've got to try. I just say, would you like to be on my podcast? And then people can say, yep, I would. And then I can get it all set up. And yeah, I think Skype works. Just have the it all set up, and yeah, simple as. Do I know how to set it up? Probably not. It's probably complicated. Record the screen. I don't know if it would be good quality. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would be good quality. It should be doable. People can record screens and stuff. Yeah, we could try it. And we could talk about interesting things, and have a podcast, and have guests. I should probably try that. Would you like to be on my podcast? And then be on my podcast, and then we talk about stuff. and get some people watching. Yeah, sounds good. And then it can be more than just me talking by myself like Chris D'Elia. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I can't just pull funny stories outside my head. I need someone to bounce off. And this is me stroking my face during the Rona times. Corona times. And don't touch your face. Stuff that! I want to touch my face, I'll touch my face. I've got hairs on my face, so what am I meant to do about it? Now the thing is, Chris D'Elia looked into the camera all the time. And I think that's a certain amount of practice. But you don't have to look in the camera if you've got like a little podcast setup and everything. Yeah. I wonder, I suppose if I had a Zoom, I could screencast a Zoom meeting. Oh, but then that wouldn't work. Or it might not work because it could work. We can make it work. Yeah, definitely. Need to get my friend a webcam. Or have them in person. I don't know. We're technologically advanced. We could figure something out. We could have someone on their phone. And they could be in the podcast. Yeah. And we talk about interesting stuff. That'd be fun. Yeah, so we could try that. You'd have to have your screen horizontal to make it look good. But then that would be awkward. I don't mind. Figure it out. How would I do it? Get an app. Get Skype. Does Skype even work anymore? That's the question. It's a question no one's asking. Does Skype even work anymore? I saw it on Joe Rogan. You need a microphone. You need everything to be good quality. But we live in a technical world. Can make it work. Yeah. I could have my camera. And I could have my phone. I don't know. Technology. I'd have to figure it out. Think about all the settings beforehand. And yeah, just think how it'd all work. We'd have to use some app. Do a screencast of an app. That might be quite cool. Yeah, just do that. That would be simple, actually. If I just had my tablet or whatever and just did a screencast. That would work. That might be the way to do it. You don't know what I'm talking about. But I could try it. A repeater. So I just have my, what would I do? No, it wouldn't work. You need a podcast. We'll get the podcast sorted. We'll get it figured out. We'll get some webcams and yeah. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it all live, all up and running. I don't know how to work OBS. It's complicated. It's very complicated. Maybe have people in person. That's probably the best thing. Have people in person. Enjoy company of people in your own time. And then have people in person That sounds good. Have people come to me in my studio and we could do a podcast together. Sounds like a great idea. Look at the camera. How about that? I don't know. Yeah, I just talking to myself. If that's okay. I just think, what can I talk about? I've only got any funny stories. I just think I just think something I've been thinking about is just friends and keeping friends and some people have friendship groups and then stay in those friendship groups and they're always there, and I struggle with that. I struggle being in friendship groups to begin with, socializing, getting to the lunch table and everything, and then once you're in that friendship group, it's maintenance. Sometimes you become somebody you don't want to be. I've always wanted to stay exactly how I am and not change my personality to fit anyone else. And I just, be friends with people that are good for me. I think that's good. Yep. It's good. Good that I can be friends with people that are good to me and it all works out pretty well. Yep. And everything is more or less okay. Yeah. Everything's okay. Lots that's difficult. But it's more or less okay. So, and something also I struggle with, so that's having friends and stuff, being part of a friendship group. Something that I've also struggled with is comparing myself to others. I do it a lot, and particularly when lots of people my age have gone to university, got degrees, and I haven't done that yet, and I'm like, well, they're ahead of me. But then, what does that even mean? They've done a degree and say they're working, but they might not enjoy their jobs. I don't know. They might really enjoy their job. They might be happy. They might be happier than me. I might be happier than them. And I bet people look at me and think, wish I was like Peter, with all his qualifications and everything and top grades. But then I'm looking at them thinking, they're ahead of me. What does that even mean? And I've found an idea of a career. I'm 22 and I've got an idea for a career. I'm lucky in a way that I can do that. And I've probably done the best thing for my situation. I've made the most out of my life. And I've struggled and had tough things happen to me. And I fitted stuff in and around it and got to where I am. And got a career that I want to do. And not everybody wants that. But something that I find a little bit daunting is working in an office. I find that a little bit daunting. Just working 7.5 hours. I've done it before and it can be a bit much sometimes. Doing that office work. for a long time. But then I suppose the idea is to get an office job, which I'm more excited about and is more interesting, and more stuff happens and you can be creative. That wouldn't be so bad. Might not feel like it right now, but 3 years it might be perfect for me. But I want, and I should focus on this, I should really make an effort. I want to grow my YouTube channel and have a podcast. And then, I'm trying my best. I don't always upload, and that's okay. That's okay in life. But if I want to be serious about the podcasting, I have to upload. Whether I like it or not, whether I feel like talking or not, just upload a video, and then some people will start watching, some people will subscribe, and then eventually get a following. And don't give up. That's what I gotta do. Get a following, don't give up, make the most out of my situation. There's a cable that doesn't look plugged in, but it all seems to be working pretty well. My setup and everything works pretty well. And if you think this is not the best quality, well, it's live. It's not going to be the best quality. Just saying. And it's me talking in my room with a camera, and it's not like a shoddy webcam. I put effort. I've got a camera with a lens. It's a good camera, so I'm in focus. The lighting isn't perfect because of the arrangement of my room. If I had the light on my face and the window not behind me, then we would have a light. But never mind. We live to fight another day. So why do I feel behind everyone? If everyone's going, because literally I am behind, but on what journey? Like, everyone's got their own pathway to follow, and people change careers. And when I look at someone who's retired, do I look at them and think I'm behind them? No. They've got less life to live. They're old. So I need to reconsider what I think about stuff and how I value stuff. Because I got good A levels, better A levels than many, but other people have got degrees. And the funny thing is that I'm starting a degree. So one day I have a degree, and then what do I compare myself to? Like the PhD students? I don't know. It's silly to compare myself. I just need to have a life where I'm fine and everything's okay. And for me, part of that life is this podcast space. So just maybe if this podcast continue and I was able to keep it going, then just maybe I can. Look, I've got time. How many months have I got? I've got, let's be generous. No, let's count it. May, June, July, August. I've got 4 solid months. And I could upload most days. I could get 200 Peter repeaters. And if I did that, I would have an audience. and that is worth something. I've got to do it. I've got to swallow my laziness pill and just focus and think, this is what I want to do. Like when I dedicated my efforts into Instagram because I thought I was going to make a living off being a photographer, and I needed that as a hope, a beacon of light, so I didn't get stuck in my job forever. Like that. And I went ahead and got myself 1,000 Instagram followers at Peter Newing. Like that, I have to find a way where I can get this podcast up and running. I have to dedicate efforts to it, and the thing is, I can, because I've got this podcast ability. I've got the time. I can just sit down and do it, and I was doing it twice a day. Maybe that's a bit much. Maybe it's the right amount. It can't be that bad. I've got to 31. I haven't done that badly. Touch my eyes, touch my face. Rona. Save that drop of water. I'm gonna get interrupted in this podcast because of my thirst, and I won't be able to do any more. Anyway, I try. I stopped doing the podcast twice a day because I wanted to read my book and correct the mistakes. And I read my book, corrected the mistakes, got a paperback version, Kindle version, all on Amazon. An Unbelievable God by Peter Newing. So I've done that, and I've wasted 2 weeks. No, maybe a week. Wasted a week. And here I am back on the hard graft of daily, twice a day uploads. I think I do twice a day. Probably not today because, I don't know, I could just upload my my game. How do I do that? Well, it's just easy. You just get everything sorted and plug it in, and jobs are good and it's easy. I say that, but how do I go about getting it all working? It's doable. It'll work. We could try it. I could screencast stuff. But what about all the audio and stuff? Well, all of that would be, I don't know. It's doable. I'm gonna do it. Wait a sec. Can I screencast? Oh, I've got on the microphone. But screencast, it's doable. I've got a cable. I've got a cable that could make it work. That would be good entertainment if I could get the it's not really a podcast though. If we just play the game, I don't care. It's the Peter Repeater, episode 32, and it's just content. I need the content. Every interaction, when I talk to my friend, content. When I talk to my sister on the WhatsApp call, ask her how she's doing, content. I can't upload everything. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I can. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can upload everything. Just everything that I ever do on my phone, screencast that, and put it on YouTube. Wonder if I'll ever swear. I think I will. You know, when I'm on stage doing my stand-up comedy. That's what I'm doing. All these stand-up comics started young. So Chris D'Elia started at 25, and I'm gonna do that as well. Start at 22. Stand-up comedy. I can just about stand up, do a bit of comedy, and then I'll be fine. Pardon me, I'll be fine. I'll just make the most out of my experience and aptitude to the comedic world, and it'll be fine. So basically, I'm thinking about getting this house party and getting it all up and running. I think it'll be fun. Can I upload this? It won't work. It won't work. It won't be like full screen. It won't be top-notch quality. But I don't need it to be top-notch quality. I just need it to be okay. Yeah. Just screencast it. Got the setup. Got the equipment. Got everything I need. Just screencast everything and make the most out of it. But then I'd have to change my setup, and I can figure it out. I know how to unplug cables and plug them back in, and I'm a tech enthusiast. So I just unplug that, unplug this, do a little bit of that, and then boom. Podcast history. And then, can I upload this? Yeah, it'd be fun. Gotta get friends in here. I just need to get people on the podcast. Make the most out of life. Yeah. It can be done. But then what is this podcast? What is this? If I'm just here playing games, I can't call it the Peter Repeater and play Rocket League. Oh wait, yes I can. I don't know. I'm gonna do whatever I like. It's YouTube. Got nobody watching right now, but I've got future people watching. Got an episode 200 of Peter Repeater. It's gonna be. Anyway, that's a channel of my name, not necessarily a podcast. Yeah. We can get a friend on here, and we get some entertainment, get some content, quarantine content, as Marcus Brownlee says. I used to say Marcus Brownlee was my favourite YouTuber, and watch so many podcasts. You know, my favourite is like The Fighter and the Kid, Joe Rogan, The King and the Sting. Just like podcasting, good cameras, switching between the faces, and just a bit of fun, really. Maybe I shouldn't what? Just fill the Peter Repeater with my screen. Never mind. What are you gonna do, eh? Shouldn't fill the Peter Repeater with my how many cables? I've got a cable for everything. I was impressed that I could get the Switch on YouTube. That was impressive. Wasn't entertaining though, but I did. There's something about 28 or 29, because I did 29 days of writing a book in a row, and I did 28 days of 28 days of gaming in a row. Suppose that gaming was good because it helped me become more technically minded. And I've got a tool that I can use for my podcasting. Got an HDMI grabber, which is how I might play this game and show it on YouTube. A lot going on, yep, but what are you gonna do? I don't have to call it the Peter Repeater. Well, it's on my channel. I'm the Peter Repeater. It's gonna be on here. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. It's gonna work. Don't know if it's gonna work, to be honest. Can I put this on my YouTube channel? Yeah, you can. I don't need to say how many people are watching and everything, but talk louder. Nope. No way. No way am I talking louder. I talk loud enough. Thank you very much. I need to I can download any film at any time. It takes a while to download, it takes a couple of days. But I should just be downloading films and watching them. I gotta watch Chris D'Elia stand-up comedy No Pain. It's gotta be done. It's gotta be done. Anyway, I'm back here. The main thing is I'm here now and I'm doing this podcast. That's the main thing. Everything else is just of non-importance. You know, I started talking on YouTube when in 2014, and then it grew into a channel, and then I'm starting again with this podcast. Clean slate. Hopefully everything will work. I probably need to find things to talk about. What have I been doing? You know, I've been talking. Yeah. I'm going to make the mistake of looking at the time now and thinking, woo, we're nearly there. See, has anyone liked mine? No, of course they haven't. Yeah. So, if I go on my profile, I'm pretty deep into this podcast, which is good. Let's go on my tweet activity. See what happens. Oh, I got, 20 impressions. It's fairly good. That's worth the trouble. I should probably use Twitter a bit more alongside everything. Get people to follow me. Right, there you are. I tried the YouTubing scene. I tried to do a podcast. I did a podcast. Hopefully I can get a friend on here. Get some technical difficulties out the way. And we can get going on stuff, get going on life. Just content. Daily content. Get this 200 podcasts under my belt and just why would it be 200 if it's 4 months? It'd be 100. Oh well. If I did 2 a day, it'd be 200. We'll see what happens. I haven't got a job, so technically I could do more. Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back this evening. Back for more. Hopefully. I might not though. Go on, let's just do it. Just get back in the swing of it. It's not that hard. I can still do stuff. Right, this has been a slow podcast. Me talking about stuff, but fast forward a couple of months, I'll be on it. You know, this will be really interesting, hopefully. Thank you for listening / watching. Appreciate it. Bye for now.